everybody, continuing my daily commute stuff here. Almost couldn't get out of the parking garage there. Kept telling me unreadable ticket. Okay, well, what to tell you. If it's not readable, it's not my problem. Anyway, I've got to go pick up some computer stuff, some laptops for a customer. And continue on about my stops. I have at least 2 more stops to make today. It's just how it goes. Ew, gotta wait. Didn't see me. Looks like another moto commuter. Got the backpack on. Looked like a female. Couldn't tell for sure. I always like to see ladies on bikes. I don't think there are enough women in the sport. Yeehaw, let's get that back end loose. Yeah, I got some 45-degree action out of that. Try to avoid running over this pedestrian. I don't think there are enough women in the sport. Don't know why that is. Yeah, it's a lady. Decide the best way to get where I need to go without all the traffic. And this is probably one of the worst roads in Houston right here, Richmond, in the Greenway area. Ugh, it's bad. My nuts in my throat if I'm not careful. And even cars have to dodge these giant holes, patches. It's bad news over here. So the trick on the Ryker to avoiding potholes and obstacles is you have basically 2 tracks that you can use, and it's right where your feet are essentially. So if you want to try to avoid something in the road, you basically just put it where your feet are going to be, and that's going to avoid the left and right wheel track, and it's also going to avoid the rear wheel. Of course, if it's a big item and you don't want it to hit your foot or your leg, well, you're kind of stuck. I've had to go over, I've had to go over chunks of wood, like lumber that people dropped, and that was tricky. I didn't have the camera rolling when that happened, but I ended up having to take it with the rear tire. There was just no way to avoid it. On a bike, you can usually swerve around, you can go left or right of it, but this thing you can't do that if you want to stay in one lane. And straddling over the middle of them and letting the rear tire hit is always the option, but at the same time, you got to be careful because the front of the Ryker does not have much ground clearance, and the Rally sits an inch and something taller than the non-Rally. So those have got even less ground clearance. So that chin up front is going to take a beating if you have to run over anything that's got more than a couple inches of height to it. And the radiator is right there, so that makes it even more troublesome. Hopefully I don't experience that very often, but you just never know. Need to raise that shield up again a little bit. I've got it all the way down. I was noticing this morning on the way in, the wind blast was kind of battering the top of my helmet a little bit, so I need to raise it about an inch. Up for me today. The Ryker doesn't have a lot of storage, even with the pannier on it. And it's a little oddly shaped for what I'm going to be picking up. I need to pick up 4 laptops. And I think I can shove them all in the inner bag, the shad bag, inside the pannier, but we're going to find out. If not, I may end up having to take a second trip. I hope to have more time this week to devote to the Ryker and start a couple of my projects that I wanted to do, namely the max mount adapter plate, so I can strap dry bags or other top boxes or whatever on the back of this guy. I contacted a couple of metal shops maybe 3 weeks ago, and they looked at the project. They said, yeah, it looks doable, but they didn't really have the manpower at the time to devote to the modeling and the CAD and everything to spin up the design. So they graciously declined the job. So I'm still shopping for a fabrication shop to do it. If I don't find one, I'll just go out and I'll grab some scrap aluminum, some flat plate, and I'll pack it up with hand tools, power tools, whatever, and I'll model my first prototypes that way, and then I'll do the engineering and everything later. Actually making a nice part, production ready part. And if it proves to be popular enough, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't tool up to sell them. I would imagine a lot of people would be interested in these. I'm sure there are some accessory manufacturers out there like Alt-Rider that are probably doing it already. It might be in their pipeline, I don't know. Let's see. Again, I don't mind giving away the good idea as long as somebody makes it. Don't want to go through all the trouble of making it myself if somebody's already doing it. Just buy it. As close as we get to twisties in Houston. Twisty highways. Man, that smoke plume is crazy. Clouds, but I believe that's actually the smoke from that petro-chem fire. If they're coming in, come in. Go. Alright, on my way. Decisive, dude. left my neighborhood this morning and I forgot. Usually the Walmart neighborhood store right on the backside of my neighborhood has pretty good fuel prices. They generally within about 5 cents of everybody else on the low side, so they undercut everybody normally. But I have noticed lately that Sam's, oops, green light. Yeah. Hey, nice controlled slide all the way through. The Sam's on I-10, just a couple, 3 miles away from me, has been consistently 10 to 12 cents cheaper than everybody lately, including Walmart, which is the same company, so it's weird. Generally speaking, fuel is cheaper out west of town in my neighborhood by anywhere from 10 to 20 cents a gallon. Not that the Ryker takes a lot to fill it up. It's 5 gallon, 5.4, whatever. It's not a huge tank. Those nickels add up. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo, who's gonna go? I think this side. Could I be wrong? Could I be wrong? Wakey, wakey. Speed run I did this morning. I don't normally like doing those things, especially posting them, because I think it encourages hoodlumry, or however you want to call it. I'm not a reckless driver or rider. I try to promote responsible riding, both for safety's sake and the image of the sport. But everybody likes to go fast and goof off every now and then. I don't particularly like the channels that glamorize that as an okay riding mode or as a lifestyle. It's just not a good idea. All it takes is one accident to change a lot of people's lives all at once. It's one thing if you're endangering yourself, but when you start endangering other people, either intentionally or unintentionally, that's kind of where I draw the line. All the guys that stunt on the streets, on the highways, going down the highways, doing seat stands in a wheelie at 100 miles an hour through traffic. Yeah, come on. Grow up. You want to do that crap, go out and find a abandoned country highway or a parking lot or, anything but in the middle of traffic, because invariably those guys are going to go down. It's just a matter of when, not if. And when they go down, they're going to ricochet around the road, tear themselves up, tear up cars. People in the cars are going to hit the brakes, swerve. There's going to be accidents. It's just bad all the way around. And it gives motorcycle riding a bad image to all those non-motorcyclists out there. All the cagers and the lawmakers and the nannies want to step in and say, no, you can't ride motorcycles, it's dangerous, all these people are hoodlums. Cases like that, I can't really disagree. A few bad apples spoils the barrel. So anyway, back to the speed run this morning. A lot of people had asked if the Ryker could break 100. I was pretty convinced that it could. I hadn't done it. I was wanting to be careful, be safe until I had my alignment done, because it was very twitchy at high speeds. I did the 97 mile an hour pull out on a stretch of highway that I trusted several weeks ago. And that was an uphill run. It got right up to 97, no problems. So this morning I did that quick blast in the protected HOV. I knew there was no other cars going to be stepping in on top of me, no lane changes, none of that nonsense. So gave it a quick blast, and sure enough, it got 105 indicated. I don't know what the GPS will say about that, but it's certainly over 100 actual. Even if there's a 2 or 3 mile per hour deviation, that means 101, 102, somewhere in that neighborhood. Bumps. And back to the posting that stuff online. I don't know the legalities. I know in some countries, some states, they can actually go back and prosecute you because there's video evidence of you being a dickhead. So hesitant to go posting those things. If you're out on a track, out on private property, something like that, then it's up to you. Do what you want. But on public streets, you gotta mind your P's and Q's and be safe. Don't be a tool. Leaning back and relaxing at lights. Oh, slippery on these leaves. Spool it up. Kick the back end out real good there. That's funny. It's Ryker riders, hoodlums. These pavement seams suck. Oh, Jesus, that was bad. I suppose I should quit abusing the heck out of it while I don't have very much fuel. Stranded somewhere. Don't want to push this monkey. Alright, I'm going to stop the video here and pick up my laptops, and we'll resume shortly. All right. Well, I managed to cram 4 laptops, power supplies, all the goodies in there. Might show the unpacking of that. But these shad cases are great. I've got the inner bag in there, so I have the padded capability there. Without it being padded, I don't think I'd want to put delicate stuff in there because it's just plastic. It's going to get banged around. But I managed to fit 1 14-inch laptop and 3 12.5-inch laptop, all Ultrabooks, in that bag with their power supplies, with other stuff, with, and fit like a champ. Be rambunctious with these laptops in there. A couple $1,000 and change. Don't really want to bang them up or go over these gigantuan pavement seams. I do have them wrapped in bubble wrap inside the bag, but still. Yeah, that's that smoke plume. Ew. The city and I guess fire department and all the health officials are monitoring that the toxic fumes and whatnot coming from that petrochemical fire. And the news was this morning that they had found a couple of volatile organic compounds that were floating in the air. They still released the shelter in place, so I guess they're not too concerned about it. But I can't remember all the chemicals that are on fire over there. It's a lot of stuff that are byproducts and chemicals used in the manufacture of gasoline. So I don't even remember what they were. They listed out 2 or 3 of them on the news. But benzene, toluene, there were a couple of other exotic names. And none of it's good to breathe. decided to postpone my trip to that side of town. I don't really want to be in that if I can avoid it. Let's see if I can find a clean spot in these roads here. Doubt it. Mainly interested in keeping the back tire off of the big bumps right now so I don't jar that bag around too badly. Guy's still sitting back there. He's on his phone, sitting at a green light, just sitting there. The traction nanny kicked in right then on that corner. I haven't gotten myself into the motor memory yet of hitting sport mode when I turn it on. Some odd thing that I noticed. I'm going to check this. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to test my theory here. Sport, rally, eco. It seems to me that when I shut it down and turn it back on in eco mode, it remembers and it stays in eco mode. But sport mode, it always reverts back to normal. I'm going to test my theory. Anyway, back there, just around that very moderate corner, 15, 20 miles an hour, the traction nanny kicked in, retarded the engine, and touched the left front brake. Everybody is sleeping today. Houston twisties. Traction nanny will definitely intrude in my fun here. It's too late to change it. Yep, a little bit. Ew. Can't avoid this one. Really. Okay, people. Is it forward? Is it stop? Is it wait? What are we doing? So I got a Prius right up my ass, or Toyota something. Like I can do anything about it. I didn't even check my fuel economy on this thing. Fuel stat. 29 it says. Yeah, that's not bad. I've been flogging it pretty good, this tank. Not as good as I'd hoped. I wanted this thing to get up into the mid-30s, but yeah, I don't know that it's going to get there. Seems to be averaging right around 29 to 31 no matter how I ride it. They're customer laptops to be. Nice car. I got it before it beeped. Okay. Well, off to work.